Joining me now is Senator Jeanne Shaheen, a Democrat from New Hampshire and member of the Foreign Relations Committee. I much appreciate you coming to be on the show on this Friday. Senator, is the president exceeding his authority here?
I'm all for doing everything we can to stop the drug cartels from sending fentanyl and other dangerous drugs into the United States. New Hampshire has been hit very hard by the opioid epidemic. We have lost a lot of people due to fentanyl. But I think we've got to be thoughtful about how we approach the drug war. I'm all for designating cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, but I don't want to put at risk our other men and women in the military because of provocative actions that prompt escalation. And so I think we need some answers about the information that told us that this was a boat carrying drugs to the United States. We haven't gotten any briefing at this point. And we need to hear how we're addressing any potential violations of international law.
Has the committee formally requested a briefing? Has anyone requested a briefing from the Democratic side?
I am not aware if anyone's requested a briefing or not.
So the Trump administration is defending the strike and the president's ability to summarily kill suspected drug smugglers. I want to play what Secretary of State Marco Rubio had to say about it.
Interdiction doesn't work because these drug cartels, what they do is they know they're going to lose, 2% of their cargo. They bake it into their economics. What will stop them is when you blow them up, when you get rid of them. Instead of interdicting it on the president's orders, he blew it up. And it'll happen again. Maybe it's happening right now. I don't know. But the point is, the president of the United States is going to wage war on narco-terrorist organizations.
So is it a powerful, real argument? Something fundamental does have to shift in how we combat drug smuggling to actually solve this, so that as a political message, the administration's may be stronger than yours and some of your Democratic colleagues.
Well, I don't see this as a Republican or Democratic issue at all. I see it as an issue about the health and safety of the people of America and my constituents in New Hampshire. And I think we, as I said, we need to take action against drug cartels and against anybody who's pushing drugs. But I don't want to do it in a way that escalates a situation and puts at risk our men and women in the military and other people at risk. And I think that's the question we have to answer.
So given the toll that has been taken in lives, in money, as you say, in New Hampshire, what is the answer? What's not being done that you think could start to make a difference? Nobody's asking it to be solved overnight, but what can be done now to start to change the trajectory of this?
Well, we were making some real progress in New Hampshire. We have seen our overdose death rate drop in the last couple of years. We've worked at the federal, state, and local level to address not just interdiction. Law enforcement has great high-intensity drug trafficking units that are working at all levels of government to interdict drugs. We have treatment and recovery that has really made a difference for people in the community. But unfortunately, what the administration has done is to cut funding for all of those efforts. And so that doesn't help us as we're trying to address the scourge of fentanyl and the opioid epidemic.
I also want to ask you about President Trump's push to rename the Defense Department to the Department of War. Politico reports it could cost billions just to change every plaque, piece of signage, not just in the U.S., but also bases around the world. I wonder if you have concerns about that, or also about the impact that the name change could have on perceptions of America around the world.
I have real concerns about the impact of this kind of an effort on the readiness of our men and women in the military. I sit on the Armed Services Committee in the Senate, and we are struggling for resources and dealing with conflicts around the world that we haven't seen in my lifetime. It is a very dangerous environment, and for the President and the Secretary of Defense to spend time and energy is a distraction from what we need to do to focus on the readiness of our troops who are serving. And it's it's nothing more than an effort to distract from other issues that are going on in the country, as far as I'm concerned.